Has Instagram ruined photography?
This is a question that everybody has been thinking about for a long time. Or, honestly, maybe not everybody, but a specific part of society, us photographers, have definitely been wondering, has Instagram ruined photography or not? I know that I've been thinking about this lately, and it's maybe something that you have thought about too. Now, in order for us to answer this question, it's definitely not an easy question, and it's definitely not black and white. It's a multi-layered question with a lot of layers, and we have to peel them off like peeling off an onion. And before we do that, then I think that we should take a little look at the history of photography.
Photography, as we know it today, began in the late 1830s in France, with this shot right here believed to be the first ever photograph, taken in 1826 or 1827 by Joseph Nicephore. Joseph Nicephore. At first, photographs were very expensive, but by the mid-1840s, competition had driven the prices down far enough that even a laborer could afford a modest portrait. However, equipment remained expensive, and I'm guessing that it was not easily accessible to the everyday person. But as time went by, cameras became smaller and more easily available, and the cost of producing photos also went down.
If we fast forward to today, everybody has a fantastic camera in their phone at all times. And also with the rise of social media, now everybody is exposed to fantastic photography all the time. The biggest problem I have with Instagram and photography is that so many people are now copying frames all the time. We see a good frame, we go and we take exactly the same frame, the exact same millimeter, and then we post it. And these are fantastic photos, so they will get a lot of likes. And I do like likes. Maybe I'm more exposed to this because I'm from Iceland. Iceland is a very photogenic place. There are a lot of these classic spots that photographers all around the world are coming, snapping the exact same photo. Me and myself, totally guilty of that many times. I do think this is a little bit boring because creativity is such a beautiful thing, and it's so fun, like finding an original frame, that there are very few things, in my opinion, that competes with that feeling. I do realize, though, that I'm seeing this from the lens and the scope of a landscape and a cityscape photographer, and we are constantly looking for that sick frame, so it's very tempting when we see an incredible frame that some other photographer took to do the exact same thing. I want to ask my friend who is a fashion and commercial photographer what his, what is his experiencing with Instagram. And nota bene, I don't think this is all bad. There are a whole lot of good things that have come with Instagram. We'll talk about that in a second. First, let's ask Magnus.
Magnus, do you think Instagram has ruined photography?
No, I don't think so. But it has definitely changed photography.
How?
Before, it was more diverse. So photographers, when they took pictures, they showed the pictures in more different ways. But now Instagram has become the main platform to show photography, and a lot of photographers optimize their images for Instagram. Before, photographers could, for example, take a picture that would work really well as a big print, where, for example, the subject is small in the picture, or they could do a series of images where only one image just tells a part of the story, but the whole series tells the whole story. But now photographers take pictures that work really well on their own to optimize them for social media.
Awesome.
Stick out in the
feed on the social media.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think the answer to this question is that easy to say, yeah, Instagram has ruined photography because everybody's copying each other. A fantastic thing that Instagram has brought to the table is more availability and more accessibility in the world of photography. There is so much more exposure to photography now than ever before. So many more people are into this art, and don't we want this art form to grow and accelerate, and more people to come in it, and more minds to, join us in this thing that we love? And that, I think, Instagram has done fantastically, because smartphones, everybody can, the barrier of entry to come into photography, as we established before, is so much lower than it used to be. It used to be hard. I mean, it was ridiculously expensive. It's still expensive to buy a camera like this, but most of us have a smartphone that we can start. And if the bug bites us, we can go and get a more expensive camera, get the equipment, and all of a sudden you own a bunch of lenses and whatnot. But I know for myself that social media is the reason I got exposed to photography in this way. I used to do skate videos and stuff when I was a kid, and I loved video, but photography was never anything that was thought about until I started to see all these fantastic photographers and started to get exposed to them on Instagram. So it's not the so black and white to say like it has ruined photography, because honestly, is there anything that we can say is black and white in our life, except, you know, maybe black and white photography? That's a pretty bad joke. It's also the third or fourth time I record this and say this joke again, so I just, you know, feel a little bit weird now. Anyways, one little thing I also noticed is that with landscape photography nowadays, the places, they're not as secret anymore because we have geotags everywhere, so they are kind of all revealed. But it also means that, you know, landscape photographers will have to push themselves even further to find, you know, even more epic places, I think. And things do change over time. However, keep in mind that also there is so much more photography now than ever before. I want to try to end this video on a positive note and preferably try to answer the question that we've, you know, spent the last few minutes trying to answer. That would be a very successful video, but let me also see myself here. Also, those of you, there I see myself. Those of you who have keen eyes, you might see that my beard is a little bit starting to get caveman-y. Need to see my barber soon, but that is a whole nother story. Has Instagram ruined photography? And also let's get close to the light here so we get a little beautiful light source. I think this is nice. Now, my honest opinion to that question is no, I don't think Instagram has ruined photography. We've established, you know, there are some problems, in my opinion, especially the copying of frames. There is less creativity. It would be, you know, beautiful to have less of that, but it has brought, you know, so many other good things. Like never before in the history of mankind has photography in this art form been as accessible, and I think that is huge. And then Magnus touched on all the different things, and also just keep in mind that things are evolving and changing all the time, and that is not necessarily bad. The purpose of this video is not to put me on a pedestal as an all-knowing figure that has it all figured out and knows everything, although I totally am, but more to get a conversation going with you guys. What do you think? Personally, I love to talk about photography and think photography, especially with you guys, the photography community that is built around this channel. So what is it like? What do you think about this? Do you agree? Do you not agree? Let me know in the comments down below, because what I, you know, might think is total garbage or is ridiculous, you might think this is the best thing ever. This is how it should be, and that is beautiful. That is what I really like about, you know, connecting with other people. Now, also, moving forward, I'm trying, you know, my best to be a little bit more creative, even if I'm at a spot that I've photographed a million times and everybody else is photographed. I'm thinking, you know, how can I, you know, get this in a slightly different angle? Can I use a different focal length, or can I do something that is a little bit original here? And that is extremely satisfying, and I highly encourage you to do that too. Other than that, I just say, you know, subscribe to all my shit, watch all my videos, smack the like button on all of them, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, you know that you are a total legend, and I will catch you guys in next video. I'm out. Peace.